Hey everybody, it is Cyborg. I am joined by Temp. As always, we're continuing the Injustice series review, the entire review of the comic series. So we're doing one issue a day, 73 days straight. Go check out the Facebook group if you haven't already. It's a closed group, just ask to join. We'll add you in there. There's plenty of great conversation that we have in there. Like, subscribe, share with friends if you're watching this. That's definitely very appreciated if you can do that. Just trying to spread the word there. But let's keep going with the review here, guys. So today we have issue number 7 of year 3. And I have the comic pulled up, so let's take a look. We'll kind of run by everything here, as we usually do. It is worth mentioning, I say this just about every episode, but if you have not seen the prior episodes, or you haven't read the comic series yourself, definitely go check it out, because there's some great stuff in here that you do not want spoiled. It'll take away some of the impact of the great writing that this series really does have. So by all means, experience it firsthand, or at least watch the reviews in order, so that way you're getting everything as it goes. So anyways, with this one, we're continuing off right where Superman is put to sleep by Batman in the last issue, Etrigan, with the help of Batman, all of that. Anyways, so we don't really know what's going on at first. We don't see Superman sleeping or anything, but we can assume he is dreaming because that's where we last left off. But we see a flashback of sorts. Batman's calling up to Superman, so it's kind of a retelling of the first issue. So we see Superman flying what appears to be Doomsday off into space. Batman's calling him down, trying to say, hey, you know, what you're seeing, it's not real. And Superman stops himself, and he realizes, oh, it's Lois. And Joker does his line, you know, did you know she was pregnant? Batman punches Joker in the face. Superman flies Lois down, is saying, please, please. And this time she happens to wake up. So she is not dead. And some restraint was shown, I guess, and just in time, she lived. I like how they redrew all of this too. Like, these were not. I went back to the first one just to see if this was like reused stuff. It's not. Everything is redrawn. It actually is drawn really well too.
I thought about checking and then I didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you did.
Yeah, because the immediate thing that jumped out to me was Superman's face did not look silly like it did in the first issue. Like, Superman's face was very. He had the open jaw and everything when Batman tells him it's Lois and you see her like floating away. Superman's face had that open jaw, like, you know, just like, oh my god. Like, he doesn't have that here. So instantly I was like, I think they redrew everything for this issue. And sure enough. And then, yeah, when Joker gets punched, it definitely looked different as well. So the art in those particular panels wasn't bad in the first one. But this is even better, honestly. The art looks really good here in some of these panels. Joker especially looks very well drawn. But yeah, so we see Lois. She wakes up. Clark is so happy. You know, he hugs her. Then we kind of flash back to now it's confirmed that this is a dream. So we see Superman laying there. Captain Marvel, Lex, Hawkgirl, Sinestro, Spectre, how they're all standing around him trying to see what's wrong with him and to wake him up. Spectre can't seem to do anything, and then we go back to the dream. And they say, you know, he's seeing what he wants to see. That's what Spectre says. I believe he is seeing what he wants to see. So now we're kind of understanding what's exactly going on. This is essentially Superman having a dream about what if, you know, obviously in his mind what he wished happened. But yeah, so there's some good stuff here. So we have Superman confronting the Joker. He says, you almost took them from me. And I like Joker's response, now, Superman, let's not do something incredibly violent and messy that we might regret. Yeah, so, and then it looks like Superman might go in for the kill once again, but Batman stops him. He says, no, I'll deal with him. You take care of Lois. Everyone else, you go try and find the bomb in Metropolis. But Batman volunteers to take Joker in. And Superman even calls him out and he says, like you've dealt with him before. And Batman says, Superman, I promise he will never hurt you again. And also worth mentioning, he does call Batman by Bruce in this, which is quite interesting. Right in front of the Joker, he says Bruce. Yeah. And Joker even says, Bruce? No, this spoils everything. Now you're just a Bruce in a bat suit. Huh. So,
I liked that. That was good.
yeah, so interesting little twist there is that he calls him Bruce in front of the Joker. So, kind of sets things into motion here. And then we see Batman driving Joker back to Gotham. And Joker's just kind of pestering him a bit. And Batman's not even, paying him any attention. He's not questioning him. He's not asking about the bomb, which Joker finds odd. And Batman essentially says, no, we're not going. I'm not going to ask you about the bomb. The League will find the warhead. And Joker just keeps pestering him. And he says, you don't need to say anything, Batsy. I know you need me. And I need you. It's all for you. Every cut, every terrified cry in the dark. You keep me going. You're who I perform for. You're the reason I smile. I liked playing with your friend, though. I think I'll do it again. You're okay if I torment other people, right? Of course, I'll wait until their baby is born. Children scream in a way that... And
Yeah.
Batman just breaks his neck. He just full-on badass, doesn't say anything. Enough of you. Like, that's what it was. Like, I've had enough of your shit. I've had enough of you talking the way you're talking. And then we immediately see him drive in front of the police station. Gordon, Bullock, and Montoya, I believe, are standing out there on the curb. And Bruce steps out with his cowl off, noticeably. And he says, I need to report a crime. And Joker's facing the other way. Like, his head is facing the other way. So that's where we leave off in this chapter. But this is an interesting, it's interesting going into Superman's psyche, so to speak, on how he would view the events if Lois had lived. So that's why I actually find this quite interesting thus far.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because the Spectre was saying he's seeing what he wants to see.
Yeah.
And some of the things he sees are contrary to the Superman. I mean, we'll go into it deeper later, but it almost feels like an admission of guilt by the time it's done.
Kinda, yeah. I can see what you're going for, but I like the idea that Superman is so delusional that he's like, man, if I didn't kill the Joker, Batman would have in this version. And it's just it's just interesting, and yeah, we'll let it play out further and discuss it further. But then we go to the next chapter. Here's some great stuff as well. He says, he's the baby's born, little Lara Lane Kent, or Laura Lane Kent, and so he's with Lois, and they have some fun back and forth, touching moments. It's very reminiscent of the first issue where we said they had very strong chemistry between. Like, Tom Taylor writes these two characters interacting with each other very well between Clark Kent and Lois Lane. So we get a lot of that going on. Him being a parent. And then Superman goes to visit Bruce in prison. And he says, I'm here to see Bruce Wayne. I have news, Bruce. Bruce immediately says, it's a girl. Superman says, how did you... And Batman comes back with, it was a 50-50. So, I mean, I love that face. Like, how did you... Superman, calm down. It was 50-50 shot. I took a guess. I love that.
Yeah, that's one of the few things. I mean, this is a good issue.
Yes.
But one of the things I feel like the Injustice saga is missing as a whole that makes the Justice League so good, in my opinion, is the Batman-Superman relationship. Sure. And unfortunately, that has to be omitted by concept. You can't really have that in something like Injustice. And I do miss it a lot because there's some legit bromance between those two.
Yeah, you're not going to see them sneaking off having, coffee together, hatred coffee, where they're like, I hate you still, right? But anyways, but there's a great exchange. And I'll read it word for word because I always like to do that with some of these better moments from the comic. Superman says, why did you do it? And Batman comes back with the Joker. He almost destroyed an entire city, all of those people. Clark said, he goes, and he almost took everything away from you. Clark interjects, he was going to try again. Batman says, yes. Superman says, you went against everything you believe in. for me. So it's just like, gets a little touching there.
It's
and then
a little
bromance, yeah, it's a little bromance, and Superman, tremendous imagery. He just walks, he just straight up walks, like Jason walks through the glass and the steel and everything. Like, not even like, he's not like bursting through it, he's just flat out walking and nothing can like contain him. It's great. And he immediately hugs Bruce. He says, "Thank you, Bruce. With good behavior, you could be out of here, be out of here by the time she is too." Batman says, he's beating people up, so he's not exactly having good behavior in there. Superman offers to just outright steal him from prison right in front of the cops that are pointing guns at him. He says, "Say the word and we will walk out of here." Like, he's just like, "We'll leave." And but Bruce being Bruce, and I do like that Batman is the way he is. He says, "I killed a man, Clark." Clark says, "The Joker wasn't a man." Batman says, "I need to do the time. Go. Live your lives." That's just tremendous, because seeing this from Superman's perspective, and like you said, kind of a mission of guilt, so to speak, Batman's doing this the right way. He went above and beyond and killed the Joker. He finally went against his rules. And obviously it was a justified killing by every sense of the means. It was finally taking out the scum, so to speak. But he does not excuse himself for it. He still does the time for what he did as a crime. So it's interesting that Superman sees it that way.
Yeah, and the most interesting part about him breaking the Joker's neck is not so much the fact that he made the decision to do so, but the fact that he made the decision not to kill, just to kill the Joker, but to retire.
Yeah.
Like, the Batman's over. The Batman's done. He can never go back to being the Batman again.
It is,
and that's a big decision. It's not a real decision. It didn't actually happen, but if it did, that'd been crazy.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And then we have, I'll kind of speed up the rest of this, but we have Clark. He sees his baby growing up, so we see Laura, whatever. I keep thinking like Kara. Laura's grows up, and we just see like her key moments. I love that she has the little Batman doll, by the way, and there's almost like a clown. There's like a clown toy as well, kind of like the Joker. But yeah, she has a little Batman doll that she's playing with. Cutest little baby there. She, having her little first steps, her first flight, some great moments there, and just her practicing her, aim with the eye lasers and
I love this
the heat
panel.
vision, and then you see it's being done at the Quiver, in front of Green Arrow. Except for this would still be the Arrow Cave, because Harley would not have suggested the Quiver. So,
he's got that sick pipe in his mouth too. Like, he doesn't even care. There's like death lasers like 2 feet away from him. Yeah, it's really good. Really good panel.
It's just a strong thing knowing what Superman did to Green Arrow. Like, it's just strong to see all these moments of like a what if scenario. You just see how different things are. I love stuff like that. But yeah, so then we see her grow up. She becomes a woman, a very powerful, strong, very smart woman, and she speaks in front of the people, I guess, because essentially it looks like Lois Lane is the president, and Wonder Woman is married to Batman, and Wonder Woman is the general. And so she has a speech in front of all of them, and basically wants to, still save the world, and she has a big plan for it. So it's kind of a call for peace and all that, and just in a nice way, not a threatening way. And she just wants to do good and save the planet. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. And then Clark and Lois have one little last moment there back at the farm, and he just says, everything, I wish we had more time, more days together, and it kind of fades away, like maybe the dream's about to end here. So, yeah, and that's where we're kind of left off, so.
Yeah, it's just puzzling that that him and his daughter would have the conversation about how we could end all the violence now, and his daughter responds, "We could, but that wouldn't be right."
Yeah,
I'm thinking if this is his like personal like ego fantasy, that's a weird little sequence to have, and I wonder if that's going to show, if that sentiment's going to show up later.
And it's also possible he's not seeing what he's seeing. Maybe he is just dreaming. It's like he doesn't have control over everything. So who knows? Yeah, it's tough to kind of read it at this point, but yeah, we are left on that cliffhanger. It looks like he may be coming out of his dream, because that's That's what it's seemingly happening there. But we're left on a cliffhanger. So overall, very strong issue. It's a what-if issue, kind of. I mean, it's a dream issue, so it really does happen. He really dreams these things. But it's a what-if issue in the sense that we are seeing how the events might have unfolded had he not accidentally killed Lois. And I love that idea of what if Batman was the one to kill the Joker? What if he turned himself in? What if, Superman's kid grew up? I love that idea of how this might have unfolded differently. I also like the idea of Lois not dying and the Joker, them just at first I didn't think Batman was going to kill the Joker. I mean, it started leading towards that direction, but when it looked like they were just going to take the Joker in and take him to Arkham as usual, I was like, it's your typical cliche comic book, because that happens all the time. The good guys save the day and status quo, business as usual. And it's just, that's why Injustice is the way it is because they allowed it to go down that path of what if they did, finally Joker succeeded and Superman lost control, so to speak. So it's interesting if this all just wrapped up, Peachy put a bow on it, they saved the day and Joker doesn't get away with it. It's kind of funny to think about it that way. It would have been just another run-of-the-mill comic.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think that Injustice may have happened at any point in the timeline had things been even slightly different.
Exactly.
Yeah, because... I guess going back to the art, I guess I should have known the art was redrawn because Lois Lane looks completely different to me. Yeah. She looks a lot closer to the Amy Adams Lois Lane. Yeah. While this Lois Lane looks closer to the Margaret Kidder kind of Lois Lane from the 70s, so... Yeah. Which is I prefer that Lois Lane. I think Amy Adams, I'll never... She doesn't look like Lois Lane to me, or the way Lois Lane ever looked to me, but I don't know how she was really... I don't know what she looks like in modern New 52 comics. I can't... I have no visual for that, so maybe that Amy Adams is... Anyway, but yeah, so... a good issue overall. I hope we return to this, though. I hope this actually is a hint in Superman's psychology, where he doesn't want to be the thing he's become. He's at some level, aware of what he is. We'll see. You
kind of feel like you need something like that. At some point, he's got to question things again, because you can't just keep going down the path of, man, this guy's just pure evil. You got to have at some point him starting to question if he's doing the right thing or if he's gone too far. You got to see where that boundary lies. If he has no boundaries, then he starts to lose those, multi-layered character elements to him.
I wonder if there's going to be some sort of Darth Vader redemption moment in Injustice 2 where he's still going to be the monster in essence. Yeah. But there will come a point where he does have to choose between Brainiac and Batman, and he makes the right decision, and then he immediately dies.
I wouldn't hate that, because I'm always of the... I love redemption stories like that, but, man, we've seen him do some really despicable things, true. So I don't know if I could forgive him, even if he saves the day in the end. That's a tough... Yeah. If it was just the first game's events, maybe, but, But then again, you have the whole... Yeah, I guess I don't want to spoil it, but there is things in there that even in the game, it's unforgivable, but... Either way, we'll continue on.
That's why I say Darth Vader moment, because he does kind of have to die if they go that route. Right. He can't really live in harmony with everyone again. It's not going to work. He did things. So I don't know. It'd be cool if Batman was trying to talk him out of it as he was dying, and he's I don't know. He's going into the kryptonite with Brainiac dragging him in and. I don't know why that would work. I don't know why he would do that.
Batman wouldn't talk him out of it, I don't think. I'm pretty sure Batman would be yes, kill yourself with Brainiac. That's both my problems taken out in one. Thank you. I don't think he would be no, Clark, we've been through everything. No, this isn't some spat that these people had over a few. This is just all out destruction of somebody's life. Anyways, it's.
I do wonder where the Kents are at this point. Do we know? Have we seen the Kents since year 2? Since year 1?
Other than in this little fantasy dream thing as old people, no, we have not seen them. I don't think since year 1.
Huh?
In the Fortress of Solitude.
I'd like to know what's up with them. I'm curious.
Yeah. He has them tied down in a basement.
Maybe. That's very plausible. Yeah.
But yeah, all right, we'll wrap this issue up. You guys take care. We'll see you next time, and have a good one, guys.
Later.
Back to reality next time, hopefully.